Oh, boy, Don, I got a great joke for you. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Little old lady.
Little old lady who?
See what you did there? You yodeled.
Huh?
You yodeled. When I said little old lady, you went, little old lady who?
Who's a little old lady?
No, little old lady who?
Who?
Not you. Oh, never mind. Turn on Beakman.
Beakman who?
Oh.
Oh, I get it.
No.
Fact, there are 4,000 wax glands in the human ear. I'm Beakman, and you've just broken into Beakman's world. Beakman!
Jaw of pig's knuckles. Left-handed.
Lester, what are you doing?
Oh, I'm just working on my grocery list. Okay, that takes care of breakfast.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't need a question. Now, lay one on me, Liza.
It's from Sky Stanford of Tempe, Arizona. She writes, Dear Beakman, what causes tornadoes?
Sky, you're the limit. So I, your personal scientist, will now twang my tongue on twisters.
And later on, we'll give you our address so you can send us more questions upon which we can twang our twangs.
But in the meantime, we don't want Sky to be blue. So here's the truth about tornadoes. The facts on funnels. The skinny on cyclones. Behold the tornado. Nature's vacuum cleaner. The winds in a tornado's center may swirl up to 500 miles per hour, making it the most powerful and dangerous storm known to mankind and womankind.
And I thought Lester's breath was dangerous.
Hey, you thought right. Hey, let's talk tornadoes, Teach.
You bet, my whirling windbag. Ugh. Ray, scour me with a bogoscope. Most tornadoes happen here, in a section of the Midwestern United States called Tornado Alley. In this part of the country, cold, dry air from the north meets up with warm, moist air from the south. When these two masses of air duke it out, it causes huge thunderclouds. Meanwhile, way up high, a fast-moving river of air called the jet stream mixes things up even more. All this gives us air being pushed upward into whirling funnels, better known as tornadoes. It's often accompanied by heavy rain, whoa, lightning, thunder, and hail. There's also a deep roar that gets louder and louder as the wind blows faster and harder. Since the air pressure is greater outside a tornado than inside, anything in its path can get pushed up into it. Animals, cars, trees, even people. Tornadoes can carry them for hundreds of yards before sending them crashing to the ground.
It says here that tornadoes are very unpredictable.
That's right, Liza. They can last for a few seconds or as long as 9 hours.
Some tornadoes have got a treacherous path, over 2 miles wide and 300 miles long.
Back, Sheba! Whoa! Steady, big fella! And the damage they cause is just as unpredictable. One time, a woman dove into her bathtub to escape a tornado. The tornado picked up her entire house, except for her and the bathtub.
Bathtub's the last place I'd hide.
We know. I say it's high time we go on a tornado watch. Behold, my pet tornado, Toto. Remember, a real tornado happens when warm, moist air is pushed up very rapidly. For Toto here, a mass of water vapor is formed by heating the water in this pan. Cool air enters here, forcing the warm, moist cloud to whirl upward. And that's what makes our tornado twist.
And this is what makes me twist. Hey, watch me work. I'm a dancing machine. Woo!
Let's twist up our own model tornado.
For your tornado, you'll need 2 plastic soda bottles. Food coloring. Food coloring. Food coloring. A knife.
Be careful, be careful, be careful.
A cutting board. Some heavy-duty duct tape. And a potato.
Oh, do the experiment exactly the way we do it, and don't forget the most important ingredient, an adult to help you.
The center of a tornado is called the vortex. So we're gonna make a vortex bottle. First, we cut a 1/2-inch thick slice from the potato. Then, we use the bottle like a cookie cutter to cut out a disc that fits tightly into the bottle neck. Like this. Now, using your knife, carefully poke a small hole into the middle of the disc. Fill your other bottle halfway with water and add a few drops of your favorite food coloring. Slosh it around so it mixes up really well. Not that well. Now take the empty soda bottle and put it on top of the not-so-empty soda bottle. And tape them together, and you're ready to whirl. Let's rock and roll. Turn the bottles upside down, hold the lower bottle in one hand, grip the necks in the other, and twist the bottles quickly. Vortex ho!
Hey, speaking of twisting, hey.
So, Sky Stanford of Tempe, AZ, if you see a real twister, head for shelter. A cellar or basement is best if you're inside. A ditch or hole if you're outside. And if you see this twister, head for the hills.
Slow twisting, Beaky, your fave.
Oh, shake that thing, boss.
Shake that thing.
Shake that thing.
Shake that thing, baby! Coming up next, the hottest topic we ever tackled. Firefighting. We'll fan the flames of knowledge when we get back.
Beakman's World will be back after these messages. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Stand tall, baby.
It's time to eat your hat rabbit. Here he is, the bandito of buoyancy, the pistolero of piezoelectricity, the Estorol of scientific soul, the one, the only, the Beakman!
You land 'em, I'll brand 'em. Let's neutron dance.
You'd lose your head if it weren't bolted on.
Question, it's from John Rhodes of Greenville, Michigan. He asks, ooh, what makes freckles?
I just love a face full of freckles. Answer, the stuff that gives our skin its color is called melanin. When melanin builds up in little spots, we call them freckles. Most of the time, the sun causes the melanin to make freckles. Of course,
Your freckles may vary.
Question, when were corn dogs invented?
Ooh, can't you just be grateful that they were?
Oh, that's okay by me, Neil. Fine by me too, just all right.
Answer, corn dogs lights were invented by brothers Neil and Carl Fletcher in Dallas, Texas in the 1930s.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Herb, how come we never have corn dogs?
Would you settle for sled dogs?
Oh, do they come frozen on a stick?
No, they come when you go, here, boy, here, fella, here, boy, here, boy, bush.
Question: how many bones are in the human body?
The answer is...
Either 206 or 207.
yes, some people have an extra vertebra. That's these bones here that make up your spine. Thank you, Bones.
Anytime.
Fast fact, the Star-Spangled Banner didn't become America's national anthem until 1931.
My personal choice would have been the Hokey Pokey, but nobody ever asks my opinion.
Question:
Do mosquitoes have teeth?
I'll bite. Do they?
Answer: yes. Mosquitoes need to cut a hole in your skin so they can suck out your blood. Believe it or not, mosquitoes have 47 teeth.
What? That must keep the mosquito tooth fairy on her toes.
Next.
Hillary Nitka of Fayetteville, New York, Eric Mapson of Colorado Springs, Colorado, and Kimberly Letzinger of Eros, Louisiana all want to learn about fire and what they have to know to become firefighters.
Well,
guys, in case you haven't noticed, this is a science show. We answer science questions here. Career counseling is down the hall, 2 channels to the left.
wait a minute, Lester. At Beakman's World, we answer all kinds of questions. Besides, firefighting's just sizzling with science. Question! Before we talk about fire, we've got to talk about never, ever being around fire without an adult. That's my #1 rule. When it comes to fire, there's no kidding around. Get it? Got it! Good. Now, the main thing firefighters have to know is how to put out fires. And before they can know that, they have to know what makes a fire a fire. A fire can only be a fire if it has these 3 things: fuel, oxygen, and heat. Fuel is the stuff that burns, like the wood in your fireplace or the wax in a candle. Oxygen, part of the air we breathe, is essential, because that's what fire is. Stuff combining with oxygen really fast. And heat is what gets the fuel hot enough to combine with oxygen and burn. If I take away any one of these 3 things, fuel, oxygen, or heat, the fire doesn't have a leg to stand on. Behold fire! Nature's way of telling you your steak is too rare. Lester, what keeps this flame burning? Remember those 3 little words?
I love you?
No, but I'm really touched.
I know the answer. I know the answer. The flame burns because it's got fuel, oxygen, and heat.
Fan-flaming-tastic, Liza!
Fan-flaming-tastic, Liza.
The fuel inside the torch combines with the oxygen outside the torch. If I take away the fuel, bada bing, the fire goes out. Now let's see what happens when we take away a fire's oxygen. Ray?
This candle uses wax as its fuel and combines it with the oxygen from the air all around it.
When I put this jar over the candle, the flame can only use the oxygen in the jar. And when there's not enough oxygen left...
Out, out, brief candle.
2 down, 1 to go. Let's see what happens if we leave the fuel and the oxygen, but we take away the heat. This is my patented copper candle cooler.
Looks like a piece of copper wire in the shape of a cone.
That's because it's a piece of copper wire in the shape of a cone.
Then I wasn't far off.
Copper is a great conductor of heat. So, when we put the chilled copper candle cooler over the flame, it conducts or draws the heat away from the candle. And when the heat goes away, so does the fire. Lester, now do you get it?
I guess so. But it was a little light in the pizzazz department.
It's pizzazz you want? Well, Mr. Rabbit-tat-tat, when we return, you'll have pizzazz and razzmatazz, because we're going to a real fire.
Beakman's World will be back in a flash. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Beakman's World will go anywhere, anytime, anyway to answer your burning questions. You've asked about fire, and so it's to fire we go. Behold fire. Under control, it cooks our food and heats our homes. Out of control, it's a great danger. And that's the job of firefighters, to keep fire under control. When the alarm sounded back at the fire station, these guys snapped into action. They were in their fireproof firefighting clothes and on their way to the fire within 60 seconds. They used the siren, the horn, and the lights to warn cars to get out of the way. When the trucks arrive at the scene of a fire, the team breaks into action. Things might look chaotic, but every move is well rehearsed. Each firefighter has his or her own position and responsibility. This is a ladder truck. These ladders are so long they can reach up to 8 stories to rescue people from burning buildings. Now, a long ladder takes a long truck. And because these trucks are so long, they need 2 people to steer them. One fearless firefighter up front.
Whoa, cool ride!
And one fearless firefighter backing. Lester, what are you doing up there?
Soiling my costume!
As you can probably tell, the structure on fire is only a training building. If it were real, the crew from the ladder company would have the super dangerous job of going into the building and rescuing any people or animals trapped inside.
Fire department's #1 job is saving lives.
The fireproof coats, boots, pants, and helmets, and the breathing apparatus they're wearing all together weigh more than 100 pounds.
Wait a minute. That's more than I weigh.
That's almost more than I eat.
This truck is called a fire engine, or a pumper.
It takes water from the fire hydrant and pumps it hard enough to reach fires on the top floor.
The engineer who works at this panel controls the flow of water to all the hoses at the fire. This giant nozzle, called a wagon battery, is spitting out 1,000 gallons of cool, refreshing, fire-extinguishing water every minute.
That's enough to fill the average swimming pool in 3 minutes.
Remember that fires need fuel, oxygen, and heat. The building that's on fire is the fuel, so we can't take that away. The oxygen is in the air all around us, so there's no way to get rid of that. But we can take away the heat. That's what the water's for.
Mind if I give it a whirl, little lady?
It's really hard to hold on to that hose, Lester.
Oh, come on. She's doing it.
Knock yourself out!
Stay away from the ramp. There's been a sighting of a ramp. Anybody else see the ramp? We're going to need a hair dryer here.
You okay, boss? Well, at least you don't have to worry about catching fire.
Well, the fire's out. Another job well done by those heroes in red suspenders.
So, all you guys and gals who asked about fire, now you know a little bit of what you need to know to be a firefighter.
And I got to fulfill a lifelong dream.
To ride on a fire engine?
No, to hose you down.
What should you do if you're in a fire? We'll answer that burning question after this.
Beakman's World must now take a beaker break. And now, back to Beakman's World.
Okay, gang, what is the first thing you should do if you're in a fire?
Break out the marshmallows?
Wrong! First, leave the building immediately. Stay close to the ground so you don't breathe in all that smoke. And get out. There's plenty of time to call the fire department once you're safe.
It's a good idea to plan and rehearse your escape route with your family.
And where you'd meet if there were a fire in your home.
And speaking of escape plans, let's make a run for it.
See you next time
on Beakman's World.
Well, Don, another Boffo Beakman show.
Sure was, Herb. What more could a couple of penguins ask for?
Well, how about seat warmers?
Ooh.
For girl penguins.
Yeah.
Opposable thumbs. Hot and cold running
Wait a minute,
anchovies.
slow down. I'm going to make a list and send this up to Santa Claus.
Ooh, good idea. Remember to put down mittens.
Oh, that's good.
And mucklucks.
Mucklucks. How do you spell muck?